Welcome to Entrepreneurs the Playbook. I'm David Meltzer here at Web Summit in Vancouver. Can't remember how long I've been at Web Summit, Rise, Collision, whatever they want to call it. It's a great community of entrepreneurs, people who want to buy from each other and sell for each other for life. But it takes investors to do that. It takes people to capitalize business. And one of my missions, I have a company called Meltzer Funding, specifically to fund bridge capital to women and women of color, the most underrepresented and most qualified people to invest in. And I have someone who's leading the way and investing into companies and co-investing into companies with me, Evelyn Lee. She's the founder of Vine Ventures Corporation, formerly the Vine Group, an incredible international entrepreneur, an investor, mentor, teacher, financier of private equity and business development. Welcome to the Playbook.
Thank you so much, David. It's so kind of you.
It's an honor to have you. I honestly, you're a trailblazer when it comes to investment. And I'd like to start off by, and what characteristics are you looking for when you find an entrepreneur you want to invest in?
I think solid.
Consistent?
Yeah. Committed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the basic qualities of a good human being.
So values, what are some of the values? I talk about gratitude, for example.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for someone that's gracious and forgiving. Do you see that interplaying in the success of the entrepreneur?
Yes, absolutely. I've been in this industry for a long time, over 20 years. So seeing so many people, founders, investors, um, entrepreneurs, partners, just like all the necessary parties that making a venture successful. And at the end of the day, it's really the people that are going to make it or break it.
And being a woman, you've been in over 2 decades. I'm old enough to know that it's difficult today. I have 3 daughters, 20, all entrepreneurs, 26, 23, and 21, all entrepreneurs. And they face challenges that I never faced 30, 35 years ago. I couldn't imagine being a woman entrepreneur and in the investment side of things. Uh, have you seen change? Have you seen growth?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I walking into the hall here, I just saw like probably maybe 100 women standing at the other corner. I think there's like a women in tech event happening, and then right before I walk in here, I got a text message from a young entrepreneur from Netherlands, we just met at the event yesterday.
Although there's more opportunities and options in for women in entrepreneurship, there still seems to be a deficiency in the capitalization of women. I do think women are better entrepreneurs than men. On average, I think the numbers prove that the better investments that you make are in women and women of color. They're much more successful statistically. So if you like the color green, then I think you should be investing in women. But yet the numbers don't reflect that at all. Less than 2% of women and women of color get funded. And that's a big problem. And I think if you take Stanford graduates out of there, the percentage would go even farther down. What can we do to help capitalize more of these women now that we have greater equity of opportunity for women? We need to have greater equity availment to fund them.
Yeah, I think fantastic questions, David. Thank you. I born and raised in Asia, in the British Hong Kong. So there's whole bunch of different mentality, the Asian culture. But now you're talking we in 2025 with everything happening, right? So much happening. And it has grown to the point, I think that entire space globally are recognizing like the power of women and young women as well. It's just we're in a different time um era.
Yes. And it takes time. Things happen very slowly, then all of a sudden, and I saw that in sports, with all the equality and Title IX and other instruments that have been utilized to grow women's sports and the equality of pay
Yeah.
is another area. Now, shifting gears, we both are heavily involved in a company called Rocket Plan. Joe Tolzman is the founder and CEO of Rocket Plan.
Yeah.
Is one of those entrepreneurs that we both love to invest in because he has the character, the dedication. I call it the consistent, persistent pursuit of his potential. but it's also the business model
Yeah.
that really excited me.
Yeah.
And it's a unique business and a big business.
Yes.
What were some of the aspects that attracted you to Rocket Plan?
I think the most attractive, I would say, like, really so powerful is the transformational aspect. It's transforming established industry that are really lack of or little innovation. So
Yeah, it has no innovation, let's be honest. They still use paper. They still use paper and pencils.
I'm trying to be kind.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not dying. When it comes to contractors, they need to use Rocket Plan, get into the 21st century. It's 2025. You can't use pencils and paper and think that your people are going to get paid. And those people, especially the customers who are living outside their house without food and their kids,
Yes.
completely disruptive. They need to get into their homes faster. And this is an industry that said it's okay that you're not.
Yeah, absolutely. I use almost 97% of the words you just have described. Yeah, it's all about helping people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I was sharing with some co-investors about how I feel this is such a special venture when people lost their home and when uh for events they cannot control, like in a fire.
Fire and floods.
Yeah,
Those are the two things.
yeah,
There's more of them every single
exactly.
year. More fires and more floods.
Exactly. And it's powerful. It's a recession proof industry,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Like
there's fires and floods no matter what the economy is like, and people need to get back into their home. Um, there's so much upside in this business. So we look for growth potential when we invest in businesses
yes,
and in entrepreneurs.
yes,
You utilize a strategy of asymmetrical upside.
yes.
And I was curious because I think a lot of people don't understand the asymmetry and the symmetry in the growth aspect or the upside in a business. How do you see the asymmetrical upside in Rocket Plan?
I think the CEO, founder Joe, and the team has so well positioned in the execution plan. You know, it's a relatively still young company, like it's founded a few years ago, but really get into the market just the last couple of years. They have proven with 200 pay customers. And most of them, almost 99% of them are all in the United States of America, and some are big names corporation. So when we do evaluation looking at a startup venture, there's risk all over, right? You know, we created the app, and then the app is already performing and being used by professionals that are in the restoration contractor space. What was the background of Joe? Yeah, he started in that space, so he understands what is important to help those people, right? Professionals. And in the United States, I think the number approximately about 50,000 of those. Like, so it's a huge space and
Each.
lots of potential. So by where they are at now to where that potential will go to is humongously exciting.
That's crazy. One of the other aspects in that exponentiality is the resistance of a conservative, male dominated contracting business. They don't like change.
Yeah.
I always tell contractors the only contractor, or person that I've ever met in the business that likes change is a wet baby. Because none of you guys like change. You would rather suffer
Yeah.
than change.
Yeah.
And one of the things about Rocket Plan is the learning curve is so low. Like, imagine taking 40 to 100 employees and getting them up and running
Yeah.
on something that you've done for decades over lunch, one lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is to do. And yet it's very difficult to convince a decision maker in the industry that it's that easy to utilize, but it is. And so getting someone to open their mind first by having these case studies, by having professional people like you with credibility. So it's not just one contractor telling another contractor, it's bigger business people that have seen these models that are putting their credibility and their money on the line to prove the learning curve is little. Have you seen any other strategies that work to shift the resistance that some of these traditional industries and careers have with change.
Definitely, yes. Actually, just as of yesterday, have a conversation with a startup. They been around for a few years and essentially doing almost the same, like replacing the legacy system. Yeah. Yeah, and using the app. And they are helping the restaurant industry. So they have over 1,500 paid customers. So it is happening.
Yeah. It's interesting because the restaurant industry is a legacy industry. It's an old, there's people who have owned restaurants for hundreds of years. And I equate the success that Toast has had as a POS system, uh, because people resisted that for years. It was implemented in Europe for years, that type of, and now everybody, it takes minutes to move them over
Yeah.
to Toast, and the value and the ROI and the acceleration, the EBITDA and all the great things that we see with Rocket Plan. So Rocket Plan is like the Toast for contractors. See, let's finish up by talking about legacy. Uh, I'm the oldest one here, maybe at the entire show, and people like to talk about legacy. You start getting lifetime achievement awards, you know you're old. Uh, my legacy is based off of junior achievement. I'm the chief chancellor of junior achievement with people like Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, who's passed, Barry Morrissey, and Sharon Lecter from Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm also the chairman of McCullion Hill Institute, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil. Legacy is really important to me, but a lot of people misunderstand legacy. And I'm not talking about the legacy systems in which Rocket Plan replaces. I'm talking about a legacy of being of service and of value, a legacy of image and brand. Rocket Plan truly has an opportunity to be the new legacy. What are some of the things when you think about building a legacy that are important since legacy is not inherited?
I always wanted to help people and I always want to contribute because we are one of the documented 8 to 9 billions human beings in this world. And this is such an honor and pleasure able to have all the good people like we at this moment, just two human beings, and we're the very fortunate ones. So I really want to do as much as I can at my lifetime before I leave this body to help and to empower. And I do that every single day in whatever ways I can.
What I love about you, Evelyn, is that not only do you teach other people, and so people are taught by Evelyn Lee, but they're also caught by her. So by watching her as a trailblazer, as a woman entrepreneur, investor, as a trailblazer to change, to have social impact, by providing people with not only value, but also with opportunity from an end to end solution and working with companies like Rocket Plan, with entrepreneurs like Joe Tolsman. I'm excited to do more with the incredible Evelyn Lee with Vine Ventures Corporation, empowering others to empower others to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, which we're going to get to do later as well. Evelyn Lee, thank you for joining me here at Web Summit in Vancouver with Entrepreneurs, the Playbook.